pleasure introducing Subash, who is the next speaker. Subash is from Cognizant. Now he's a senior business analyst at the KM department in Cognizant. And prior to the Cognizant, he was with Wipro. And before that, Mindtree. Yeah. Mindtree and Wipro, both he was in the KM team there. And in Mindtree, he was pioneering the concept of communities of practice. He was driving it, the creation, nurturing of the communities of practice in Mindtree. And he did his UG in Electronics and Communication from Madras University, did his MS by Research in MIT here, Chennai. And his interests include blogging, origami, tris, and mind mapping. Obviously, that's why he's here. And he was the official mind mapper for TEDx in Chennai in 2010. And he has also founded the Origami Society of Madras. So he has a lot of competence in origami also. And he was featured in the press and media for teaching geometry to kids in slums using origami. And he also conducted a lot of workshops in origami in Chennai. And he's an avid cyclist and is a member of the Tamil Nadu Cycling Club. And he's an active volunteer. He was an active volunteer in K Community, Bangalore. And here also he's very active. Awesome. So please welcome Subash for his mind mapping session today. Over to you, Subash.
Recently, his interview was there in the FM.
Okay. That was on the Google Doodle when Akiro Yoshizawa, one of the... Thank you, Gopes. K Community is all about surprises. I mean, 4 years back, for the first time, I met Ambika when I was in Wipro. 2 years back, I again met her when I was in Mindtree. And now I am meeting her when I am a part of Cognizant. Another surprise is... Okay. Another surprise is, this will be interesting. For the first time, I am meeting my cycling buddy Amit Sarkar in formal dresses. I always used to see him with cycling helmet, glasses, flashing lights and tight dresses, and so it's, for some time I couldn't recognize him. Who this guy is? He looks familiar, but okay. So I have recently joined Cognizant. I joined Cognizant on February 1st, and for the past 2.5 years I've been practicing mind maps. And it's since when I joined Mindtree. And mind is the only word relating mind map and Mindtree. Mindtree doesn't do anything related to mind maps. It's an $500 million company by itself. So, in today's session, which is going to be for 30 minutes, the first 15 minutes will be on some basic yarn on mind mapping and 101 on mind maps. The next 10 to 15 minutes will be on practicing mind maps. So I'll be dividing you people into groups. You will have to do a mind map for me. The last 3 minutes is I'll be judging it. So it's a contest between the groups, right? And the winning team gets a prize. It's a handmade, patented gift. I mean, the gift was patented, but then the design was available online for people to make. So you're going to get a handmade gift. So let's dive into our session. To set the context, I have got two contexts. First is a very interesting statement by one of the key leaders in knowledge management, by a person called Dave Snowden. He founded an organization called Cognitive Edge. He says, we always know more than what we can say, and we always say more than what we can write down. Okay. So to make this statement more simpler, let me say if I have taken 100 sessions on mind maps, even for the 101st session which I am going to take, there will be a lot of thoughts in my mind, but I may not be able to express all that which I wanted to say, right? Irrespective of how well prepared I am or how good a speaker I am, there is always a communication or a knowledge loss gap from my brain to my mouth. Have you all experienced it sometime, or do you all accept it? Yes. Yes, thank you. And we always say more than what we can write down. So this could be also classified as the writer's block, or we know it, but then we just can't articulate it. Right? So this is the first context. Second thing is, a very interesting slide which most of you have seen it. This is the learning pyramid from National Training Laboratories, which says on various modes of knowledge transfer and how much of knowledge do you retain after it. So if I'm going to lecture about mind map, one to many, so you will be retaining 5% of knowledge. This color violet or whatever it is, it says 5, but then it's not visible. That's fine. If you read a book on mind maps, Tony Buzan's book on mind maps, you will retain 10% of knowledge. If you see an audio visual, a YouTube video on mind map, probably you will retain 20%. If I demo on mind map, you might retain 30%. If you practice mind map, or if you have a discussion instead of one to many, many to many, see a tenfold increase in knowledge. If you practice mind maps, you retain 75% of knowledge on what is a mind map, and only by teaching others, you get to know what is a mind map, or what you get to understand the whole thing. So even if there is no power supply here, even if there is no PPT, it doesn't work, I can still speak on and on and on about mind maps because I have practiced it a lot. So the interesting thing which is coming out of this slide is, we are living in a world where attention is no longer a resource. It is a scarcity. So if I can get your attention here in this room, I am a successful speaker. I can't do an Steve Jobs kind of presentation. But the whole point is, irrespective of how good a presentation you make, the attention span of people is very, very, very limited. So how do you get inside the people's attention span? That's where the challenge is. So having said these two contexts, let me explain to you what a mind map is. So I'll use the center part of the board. So okay, that's fine. So I'm going to a semicircle, or whatever you call it, a flowchart, star diagram. I'm going to write mind map in the center. I'm going to draw a curve, and which says, write a word called what. Just one word called what. And I'm going to branch out. So what is a mind map? Mind map is a marriage between words, visual and images. Mind map is a thinking tool used to harness my right brain. Mind map is a Victorinox for your, or a Swiss Army knife for your brain. Mind map is a technique to harness the brain's potential. Do not worry about what I have written here, because there is a slide. I can share this slide with you. I mean, it's a technique to harness the brain's potential. I would rather call, or my personal definition of a mind map would be, it is the dance of neurons between your right and left brain. Predominantly, most of the cognitive psychologists and scientists believe that there are two parts of the brain, right brain and left brain. So if I do this, it is the left brain which is active. Because there is something called as the corpus callosum in the brain, which is kind of fusing and make sure that both the left and the right brain talk, the logical and the creative ones. Some people just say, no, there is no left brain and right brain, there is only one brain. Some people also believe there is no brain, so let's not worry about them. We will believe in what most of the scientists believe. There is left brain and right brain. Okay. Then I have another branch out or draw a curve which says Y. And I add a few more nodes to it. As I mentioned in the second slide, attention span of people is less. Another interesting reason why we need mind maps is, see, irrespective of taking lot of classes on mind map, sometimes even I miss what I hit, and I have written a mind map on what I should not be missing. So there is always a knowledge loss between the brain and the hand. So brain is not designed to think in a linear way. This is again science. So my brain basically works this way. It starts with a center concept and then branches out. That's how our thoughts basically spread in the brain, right? If you have seen Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, that's how the cover picture would be, right? So when we think of an let's say chair, all the thoughts that comes to me, okay, chair is made of wood, chair is made of steel, chair is made of 4 legs, need not be 4 legs, it could have just 3 legs. So our thoughts just digress and it just grows and then neurons just flow all over our brain, right? So brain is not designed to think in. So if you have a PowerPoint presentation with bullet point 1, bullet point 2, bullet point 3, bullet point 4, bullet point 5, after 5 minutes you have lost the audience. They are not there for you. Their attention span is limited. They are in their own world. Even right now there are people there in their own world, and I can see that by just looking at their eyes. Oh, when is he going to finish? The samosas I missed. When am I going to do the hands-on session? And there are a lot of thoughts going on in your mind. So there is a very interesting book called Beyond Bullet Points. Do read it. It is all about how do you make presentations in a very, very interesting way. How do you bring in game storming? How do you bring in storytelling to make your presentations the best way? So brain is not designed to think in a very structured, linear pattern. Instead, it just centers around and the thought and then expands. And why part of mind map, I will also say improve your memory. To avoid loss, articulation loss that happens due to articulation of. I'll come up with one more main node. Things would be a little confusing right now, but let me explain you. I mean, in 5 minutes you will be more with me. Where? I'll have another main node with just one word called where, and I again branch out. And here I write words called brainstorming, notes taking, problem definition, problem solving, I have written some more point and I can't understand my own handwriting. So let's leave it there. So I have another node called how, and I again branch out. Don't get bored, I will explain you what this crazy thing is all about. Start a mind map of self. A mind map of your family, mind map of something that's bothering you, let's say a problem. So I have just written something or drawn something in the board. What is this called? This is called a mind map of a mind map. So I explain to you what is a mind map using a mind map. And why is it curved? Why are these nodes curved? By nature, the nature itself is curved. The human body is curved. The entire design around you is curved. Everything is like, if I speak the air or the eons or whatever that's traveling around you, it's all curved and it reverberates around a frequency and reaches you. So, and it is colored primarily because science does say that when you are surrounded by colors, the number of neural activities in your right brain is more, thereby making you more and more creative. If I say this like this, you will not accept. But let me give you an example. My creative friend I can use, Amit, I can pull his leg. Let's say I give him an assignment to write a love letter. Love letter is a very creative task, trust me. You cannot start with saying to whomsoever it may concern. Right? Love letter needs a from and a to and yours sincerely or your truly or your lovely, whatever it is. So, and I give him two choices. I'm going to ask you to write a love letter in a highly secure monitored room where there are thousands of cameras monitoring each and every stroke of alphabet you make. Each and every high definition cameras actually monitoring your breathing and all that. And I'm going to give you another choice, a beautiful ocean, a recliner, an umbrella, a drink of your choice. Probably Amit might choose beer. Fine. So, and then I ask him to write a love letter. Or let's say I give this exercise to all of you, right? What would you choose? Second choice. Some people can write love letter even in that dingy environment. Let's think on the top of the bell curve, normal people, right? So when you are surrounded by a very colorful work environment, you tend to have more number of neurons floating in the right part of your brain, thereby making you more and more creative. So my previous organization used to be very bent on this, and we used to have, moment you enter Mindtree, you will see lot of colorful walls, colorful pictures all around. I keep my cubicle very, very colorful. I decorate it to the core. I am personally so convinced that when I am surrounded by colors, I get to be more creative. So what is a tool? What can I use to make a mind map? Most important tool is you need to have a mind. Right? Let's all believe we have minds. We need to have, you need to have colorful pens, charts, paper. Most basic mind map can be done, and the most powerful mind map can be done just with these two nodes. Your mind, your colorful pens, and a whiteboard. You also have tools like FreeMind, XMind, NovaMind, Mind Map for Android, Mind Map for iPhone, Mind Map for iPad, everything is there. Go ahead, download it, use it. And like I said, how can you even start? What can I mind map on? Mind map on your own self. So there is one very, very basic rule which is there in mind map is, best practices, start with, make sure that the node has just one word. My name is Subash Thyagarajan. So let's say instead of writing Subash Thyagarajan as one node, if I write Subash, and if I write Thyagarajan, here I can write my sister's name, Suja, Sumi, my mother's name is Sundari Thyagarajan, and I can write it as, the nodes can expand. Here I can write about Subash, I can write about CTS, I can write about Mindtree, I can write about Wipro, I can write about origami, cycling, blah. It just keeps expanding. So this one word concept has been a very, very, one word strong node has been a very well acknowledged or best practiced thing in mind maps. And I said, the colors has a very, very strong affinity to us. We tend to get attracted to colors. And if I say, if I can relate red to danger, and I can relate green to nature or happiness, right? So colors play a very, very major role in the way we process or way we apply towards things. So ideally, one has to make his mind map as colorful as possible. Okay, let me show you a few mind maps so that this is what I basically explained. Okay, let me erase this. I can erase this because I am showing you the E version of it made using a tool called FreeMind. And as I said, I explained this concept of mind map using a mind map. Is it visible? Okay. So what's a mind map? I mean, it's all shared. I mean, I can share it with you. What's a mind map? Why do we need mind maps? Here I have just written it as a question. But yeah, in the one which is, how will it help me? How can I practice a mind map on you? What are the tools available? Where can I use them? Like say, a note taking, a discussion, a brainstorming, problem definition, problem solving. Let me show you a mind map which your kids would love. I thought about making a mind map on parts of speech. If suddenly an interviewer asks me what are the various parts of speech in an interview, I'll be wondering what is meant by parts of speech. But then because we don't use that kind of English in our daily life, we don't use adjective, pronoun and noun in our way we speak, right? So I wrote the central node as parts of speech, and whatever that came to my mind, and using Google and all that, I wrote a noun. So noun branched out into common noun, proper noun, countable, uncountable, whatever types, pronoun, verb, and all this have their own branches. So in short, this diagram is Renan Martin in one page, right? You can also mind map on your resume. This is my resume. I was pained and bored on seeing pages of self-bragging, self-marketing, whatever you call it. I mean, you sell yourself in your resume, which is perfectly fine. And this is how I sold myself to Cognizant. I sent it this version of my resume. And I felt resume is the place where you have to be, try to create, be more creative, strike the person who is seeing your resume at that place. Because he doesn't have the attention or the time to go through words and pages, right? So you can make your resume as a mind map. I know some of you are thinking, oh, I can read your minds. Okay. Now, we have close to 10 more minutes. And I have 30 of you here, 32 of you here. I have got chart pens, I have got color pens, and I have got chart. I'm going to divide you into groups of 6. And I'm going to give you a problem, and I want all of you to mind map on the same problem, so that it will be easier for me to judge. Try to make it colorful, try to make it, let the branches spread here and there, try to associate, and the problem is very simple. But then, solutions would be lot more of meaning to the government of Tamil Nadu. It is power crisis. That's the problem. Power crisis in Tamil Nadu is the problem. I mean, I can give you a problem on knowledge management in 2012, which is almost beaten in all forums. And some of you could be, like students of IIT Madras may not immediately relate to it, but then they are students, they can relate to a power supply problem, right? Whether they study or not, when there is no power supply in their room, it is always difficult for. So, what we could do is, we cannot form a group which is like from all people in one group should be from different organizations, because this is all more of Cognizant today. So let's form groups. For the want of time, we'll form groups of 6 of you who are closer to each other. Form a group.
How many people use mind maps so that we'll give a fair advantage to every group?
I don't know. I mean, how many of you? Thank you. How many of you have heard of mind maps, or okay? How many of you have used it? You have seen it, okay, used it. So we will make Ambika as an judge and a part of an, I mean, you will help me in judging. That group should not have unfair advantage, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll be doing the role of the joker, moving around and then working with all the teams. And then there is a prize associated with it. So, you got 10 minutes and you got a problem and you will have to brainstorm, ideate, try to impress me with a phenomenal mind map.
I think that was a joke. I'm joining.
Yeah, please, Ambika. Please join this team. You are Gopal's boss. Yes. Yeah. We will discuss. We will discuss a lot and read a lot. Good that I saw you today. Thank you. Yeah. You got 10 minutes, guys. You got 10 minutes, team. Oh, team A has already made 4 nodes and lot of sub nodes. Brilliant. Team node is team B, or I can call my friend's team is like with 2 major nodes and wondering where to progress. Team C or team TVS is kind of doing an okay. They are doing the E version. Phenomenal. I am so impressed. Team 4 has made a strong start. Everyone in this team is mind mapping. Everyone is having their own node and then branching out. Phenomenal.
Subash is pretty fine.
Following of best practice. Ambika's team just following the best practice of team A. Yeah. Do not restrict your thoughts. There is nothing right or wrong in a mind map. Make sure that whatever that's there in your mind is put in the paper. Do not restrict your thoughts. There is nothing right or wrong when it comes to a mind map. Just make sure that all your thoughts in your head are captured. இல்லங்க இதுக்கு வசதியா இருக்குங்க ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கா 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes. Eight more minutes. And I am yet to see. Your mind map can have pictures. Your mind map can have smileys. Your mind map can have thumbs up signs. Make your mind map associate your word to image. Associate the words to images. Associate the word to verbs. Parts of speech, yeah. Team C is asking parts of speech. Okay, wow. Thank you. So people who are watching this through live telecast, our audience are brainstorming on power supply and power supply crisis in Chennai, and they are mind mapping on it. So please tweet or put your thoughts in Facebook under KCC Chennai. We can also have an online contest. I will make sure that the gift reaches you. Seven more minutes. 7 more minutes. I am very strict in timing. 7 more minutes. Good to see people getting their hands dirty with colors. Good, good, good. 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. Last 3 minutes. Team, last 3 minutes. I'll have to take 10 more minutes to judge your... So, I'll not be giving you an extra second. Last 3 minutes. This 3-member group here is rocking. Last 3 minutes, last 3 minutes. 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes. Reflect on your map, 2 more minutes. The Chief Minister of the state is going to see your mind map. 2 more minutes. Chief Minister is going to see your mind map. Let's think of it that way and then. Last minute team, last minute. We are already behind schedule. Last minute. I don't have anything more to say. That's all. Thirty seconds. 30 seconds. Reflect on your mind map if you can. Very colorful. Karthik and team, very colorful. Amit and team, oh my god, they have used the whole chart. Lovely, lovely. Okay, IIT Madras, dollar value has come there. Great, great. Interesting by, this is an all company group. I see TCS, I see Cognizant, and all of them are going sailing in the same boat on per crisis. Awesome. Time up, time up, time up, time up. Time up, time up. And who's team which first gives me the chart has a competitive advantage. Team 2, team 2. Okay. Winners will be announced now and your prize will be given. Early bird will be factored. Will be factored for making that run from here to here. Such a long distance you ran and then gave me the mind map. So that would be factored.
It doesn't matter, it's always non-linear.
Non-linear, yes. Brain behaves in the non-linear way, yes. Okay. I'm not going to give scores. Whatever that's more attractive to me, one which has more number of nodes, not more of thought process, I'm just going to... It's difficult to judge a mind map in 2 or 3 minutes. You need to spend some time with it because it's like 5 people have put 5 of your brains into a mind map and I have just got 2 brains. Yeah, the right and the left. Everybody gets a point, but 6 of them get gifts. And I want your team leader or whoever it is to go take it, make an e-version of it, share it in the K community site. Facebook, yeah. Who is affected has an interesting smiley here, see. That's called associating your images with the words and why power cuts, solution, beneficiaries, how affected. There's someone crying here. Children mindset dull. Interesting, interesting. How affected. Solution, oh, someone is put a happy smiley for solution. Good. User, transmission loss. Oh my god. Beneficiaries of power crisis. Where? Okay. Investors. Genset manufacturer. Inverter. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Family time to read. Family time and then time to read. Oh, okay. No TV. Okay. Okay. Interesting. This was which team? Okay. Good job. Please give them a big. Team 2. Okay. That's lot of neurons flowing and there's a culture here which is like ulta version. Okay. I mean, not inverted. That. Yeah. Inverted brains, okay. I mean, it's hard for me with the... Okay, okay. When requirement, where... I don't know, they've given me a lot of exercises to do all this with my... They have different... Politics, unnecessary discussions, okay. Culture, see you negligence of authorities. By media, hype, media hype. Oh, that's interesting. Global cooperation, economy, people, foreign influence, okay. Someone has taken Kudangulam very seriously, okay. We'll alternative technologies, interesting. Thank you, Gopes. Okay, tidal, okay. Mind maps on power crisis, good. Power crisis, alternate resources, kerosene, generator, diesel, petrol, okay. Resources, hydro, solar, okay. Tools, government regulations, budget, cost, industrial growth. People are sad, okay. Schools, domestic customers, okay. Theft, power theft. First time I'm seeing power theft, or maybe I didn't see that note in the other. It was there in your, oh, okay. Oh. This is a team which have written first prize here. If you read a book called Art of Choosing by Sheena Iyengar, she says, just because I see the word first prize here, it will make me, it will tempt me to give them first prize. But then I have read this book. Read that book. It's a lovely book, Art of Choosing. Power crisis is very colorful. I like this bunny with teeth. I don't know. This is cycle. My friend Amitas must have drawn this.
And yes, Shiva and Shakti.
And electricity. Okay. Why separate? Okay. Try for solar power, but I do not know why is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. You could have used the other part of the chart. What had stopped you?
And Amit's photos here.
No. Amit is smarter. No. I won't accept. He will push me to the cycle next time. Industrialization, oil, electricity.
Effects is something all teams have.
Effects. Miss Chore policy play. Femina Miss India. Miss Nat Geo. I don't know what is that. I seriously don't. Okay. Interesting. Sun. Shweta and team, was it sun in the center? It's a bulb. Oh, innovation, neuron flows. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay, bulb. Okay. I see the filament here. Okay, good. Transportation. There is this patients, hospitals, stock price, abrupt, TV schools, bored. Mosquitoes. Wow. Mosquitoes, hot summer, humid, illness. Okay. I love this. Change of speed of rotation of earth. Crazy idea by calling Rajnikant's help. That is kick. Power crisis. Dollar. Okay, loss of production. Why? Solution. Yes. Smarter power grids. Wow. Think out of the box. Have you defined the box? There's a lot of boxes here. First, let's define the box and then start thinking outside the box. Establish power distribution points. Make generation cheap. Use glass to save light. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Use Bettermax light. Wow. Big time Goundamani fans. Yeah, I can see that. Large. Student education. Government charge. You know what? I'm going to give prize to this team. I mean, it's not just because I saw this last, but it was pretty colorful, lot of smileys, lot of colors, and Rajinikanth did make an impact. Seriously. I mean, it's difficult to judge, but I feel this team did steal the show. So that team, can you please come and may I request one of you to come and give the prices or, yeah, Ram. Okay. 6 people, right? Okay. I did this yesterday. Okay, let me explain you what this is. Okay. This design is called a V-pleat in origami. It's made from single square sheet, no cutting, only folding. If you cannot see the V, you can see the V this way on the other side. And it is designed by, it's a pretty old design, but then the one who made it more popular was a guy from Tel Aviv, Israel, Paul Jackson, one of the most respected paper folders in the world. And yeah, V for victory, and that's what knowledge sharing would do to you. So, Ramasamy, if you could please give them to. There are only 4. Someone must have. Oh, okay, there are 2 there. Thank you. There are 2 in that. Okay. Please take photos so that I can publish it in my organization's blog. Taken it? Okay. So the IIT kids have proved once again that, yeah, they are the institute to join. There's one more IITian in that group, yeah. So thank you all for your time. Thank you for being patient. Do practice mind maps. I mean, unless and until you practice mind maps, what happens is you will be thinking, okay, Subash Thyagarajan, instead of saying we think this way, has made a picture like this. That's how a lot of people would immediately think. Instead of writing it this way, he has drawn it this way. But you will have to practice mind maps to see the power of it. Exactly. People who don't have time for flashy presentations, 30% of knowledge retention. That's what people would take. Do you want people to take 30% or 70% or 80%? There are a lot of interesting websites which tells you how do you make presentations using mind map, how do you make collaborative mind map, meaning people across different organizations or different locations can jointly do a mind map. Soon there will be some mind map on cloud, or there should be already a mind map on cloud available. There's a tool called brain.com. Do go and check. If you're in Cognizant, you can check Jaychandran Chitnipet's suite, or else I'll try to kind of put it in Facebook K community page. That's a very interesting tool. No, Mind is paid version, Free Mind is free. As I said, always, you have a brain, you have color pens and chart. That's all you need. I can take 2 or 3 questions for want of time because it's 7:30 and I'll be losing your attention if we spend more time. I'll take 2 questions if needed. Yes, sir. Did I show a triangle? Yes, knowledge pyramid. Yeah.
What is the basis of that kind of a percentage? You put the source. I'm not fully convinced with that percentage.
It was, from what I have read, it was done for students, a selected set of students, group of students by the National Training Laboratories. And the point which I want to make is like our attention is less. And how do we get to people's attention is, one way of you getting into people's attention is trying to make use of these mind maps in presentations.
No, can you just
yes, can we show this again? I think so.
Because you related it to the retention.
Yes.
How do you say that? For example, if you take, I'll just take a simple example. Tables.
Take books.
No, take mathematical tables.
Mathematical tables, yes.
People just memorize it and they keep repeating it and it has been stored forever. Take the Shrutis, for example, the Upanishads. These have been spoken and then heard and it has got retained.
Yes, but so it gets retained better when you say it again and again and again. So you tend to retain it by practicing it. Not by just reading it once or not by just seeing it once in a PowerPoint.
I agree.
You tend to share it with someone. You tend to sing a Shruti or you tend to tell your tables to another person. Please.
Remembering and one thing called recall. So the recall level of something which you learn new gets deteriorated 70% the next day. That is what research says. You can still remember, but you cannot recall it immediately. You will read a new concept today. Tomorrow 70% will be degraded. 70% you can't.
How did you do the mathematical tables?
I didn't do the calculation. I'm talking
No, I'm
about
just
from the
telling you,
side.
how did the mathematical tables? We have been remembering it for ages.
No,
I
I'm
do
talking about
understand
a
the importance
new-
of mind map.
new
I'm not
concept for the
questioning that
first
at all.
Absolutely
But just
fine.
the percentages which you have put from 5% to 95%, I'm just questioning the basis of that kind. I mean, I would like to have that kind of a percentage, but what is the basis? Have you done any research to come up with that kind of a
It was
percentage? or is it a
research
good
done by
feel?
National Training Laboratories. That was not my.
I know.
I know. You know it, but
I saw that.
maybe we'll have to kind of question National Training Laboratories if. And that's a PhD in knowledge management. So. Okay, great. Thank you.
That kind of becomes, that decreases your creativity to express yourself. So no, I was just saying, if you, like all the charts that were made,
Okay.
so, one team could relate to it with their ideas, the way they drew things, but for me it would, it would look like I would interpret it in a different way. So, do you think in some way there's some knowledge loss or, I don't know. What do you think of that?
I don't know, or
Okay.
if someone can.
What we call as the basic problem in logical positivism. See, I think of something, I say something, you listen to what I say, and then you understand.
Yeah.
So the whole gap in the communication is at 4 levels.
Yes.
So when we do a mind map, there are words which are thrown.
Yes.
And I have a link in my mind while throwing those words on the paper.
Yes.
And when I communicate it to you, if you have a lot of assumptions on that, there is a lot of possibility of slip between the cup and the lip.
Quite true.
And this happens even with bullet points.
Quite true.
But this happens more with the mind map, no? So there is a challenge here. We will have to take mind map to the next level where I should be able to think also, at the same time communicate also. Because the mind map as a tool for my personal brainstorming is very, very useful. But as a communication device, I'm not very sure.
That's exactly the point that I was also trying to put forward. Like any concept, it has got its share of do's and don'ts.
Perfect.
You use it for certain situations, you don't use it for certain.
Perfect.
So we are going gung-ho about mind maps as of now, saying that it is a good thing. It's
Yeah.
no doubt a good thing. But it has got its limitations, and I think everybody should be made aware of what are the situations where it falters. Like he said, in communicating, it might falter.
The intended meaning would obviously be the creator who should be able to explain the intended meaning of those words. I mean, whatever is written, this problem is there for any writing. Right. How much beautifully you may write, this is the context.
People can take it in whatever way they want. Yeah.
I think it's a very good tool for simplifying whatever we know about this thing. But the human element has to take over when we are interpreting the mind map, I think.
No, I think, I've been using mind maps for a very long time. So when I started using it, just to answer your question also, and some of the observations that came in, very interesting. Because when I started using mind map, I found it too unidirectional. Okay, and at some point I got stuck. So then I realized the power of any concept mapping, I won't say it's mind map, any concept mapping is when you're able to create loops. Right? So you should be able to connect certain, it's like a nervous system, and the nervous system doesn't break at any point. It gives you continuity from one start point to another end point. And there are a lot of logical extensions which also flow. So the nerve flow never breaks. So a good concept map, which is an extension of a mind map, is where one flows into the other. So ultimately, you're actually able to visualize let's say in a practical scenario, a complete business process cycle, you put it into a concept map, you can actually see what are the various value networks that are getting created by doing something like this. So I think that is important. And so in this case, what we did is we all had a common theme called power crisis. But look at the different perspectives that came in power crisis. So if you even do a simple union of all these mind maps that came, you'll actually get a larger knowledge, asset as an output. So I think that's important.
That's one thing, but ultimately it doesn't substitute for the actual decision that is to be made with all this data.
True.
So that has to be done.
True.
So what I'm saying is that it is a very good tool, but let's stop with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do a post-analysis of the mind map. Why is it that this node alone has so much of branches? Should I concentrate on that? Is it because of this node? I mean, you can interpret the mind map and then try and see. It's not that I just dump everything from my mind into a paper and then leave it that way. You can interpret it. You can say, you can put a danger signal to it. Why is it that this node alone has so much of? You see, solutions alone came. If you had seen all the mind maps, there are so much of solutions. People want a solution, are desperately in need of a solution. So, and then you can take another node. So you can do a postmortem of a mind map. It's not that it's not possible, but then. Exactly. Yes.
Representing the logical flow of things.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Subash.